Okay, today we're going to talk about the importance of stretching, and I'll show you a few stretches that you can do every day that can help improve your flexibility and just help improve your blood flow. Stretching increases your blood flow and circulation. It helps push the oxygen to your brain for clearer thoughts. When you stretch your hamstrings, because with most jobs now, it requires us to sit down a lot, so that usually creates tight hamstrings and tight calf muscles. If we stretch those muscles, it'll help alleviate some back pain, and it'll also keep us a little bit more limber and increase our posture. Stretching also alleviates muscle tightness, which can also improve your balance, because if one muscle is tight on one side, it can throw off the balance in your body, and it can also lead to an increased risk for injury if one side is imbalanced and you're overusing one side. So stretching helps to keep your body balanced. Stretching after working out is also very important because it helps to release some of that lactic acid buildup, so your body doesn't stay as tight as long. So it will help with the muscle soreness and the DOMS, the delayed onset of muscle soreness. So it helps with that. So I'm going to show you about 3 or 4 stretches that you can do practically anywhere or at your desk job. It requires a chair. So let's get to it. Most people don't put enough emphasis or effort into stretching, but stretching is just as important, if not more important, than the actual lifting heavy weights and extreme cardio. Stretching helps to improve your flexibility and range of motion, and that helps to reduce the chances of a lot of injuries later on in life. So the first stretch that we're going to do, I learned at my physical therapy job at Proform, and it's called the figure 4 stretch. So what you would do is you would have a chair, you would sit in the chair, then you would lift your leg up and cross it over that opposite thigh or quad muscle, almost like the man sitting, like how men usually sit. And with this stretch, you'll have a straight back, and then you would hinge at your hips, so you would lean forward until you feel it in your IT band, which is on the outside of your hip. So from a side view, you would cross that leg, straight back, and then lean forward until you feel it. You don't want to go too far where it's painful, but right where you feel the pull, you would hold this stretch for 15 seconds, and you would do it 3 times. While working at Proform PT, I learned that a lot of injuries come from the lack of range of motion. A lot of the patients were in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and when they came and we asked how did they get hurt or when did they first feel it, they would say that it was random, where they were reaching for something in the cabinet, or they made an awkward turn and their body, that's just when the pain happened and their muscle teared or was torn. So with that, that's usually a sign that there was a lack of range of motion. With this stretch, you don't want to round your back and go down. That defeats the purpose. So you want to have a straight back, and you're hinging at your hips, so leaning forward, holding it, and you feel it just stretch right in your hips, your piriformis. You also feel it all the way down the whole IT band. Doing the figure 4 stretch can help if you have a desk job or you're sitting down a lot, because your piriformis and your hips, those usually get very tight because we're constantly sitting and we're constantly in bad posture. So this can help improve your posture, and it can also help keep you loose while at work. The more elastic or the more our muscles can elongate, the better it is for our body in the long term, because that means that we can withstand reaching for something high in the sky multiple times without having to get tired or tearing. So a lot of times with my clients, I'll emphasize flexibility, I'll emphasize stretching, because stretching is key. Stretching must be done in order to make the workout even useful. The next stretch that we're going to do is the same thing. We can sit in the chair. So we'll have the chair, and it's the hamstring stretch. A lot of times our hamstrings get tight from sitting down a lot, and a tight hamstring can also pull on your lower back and cause lower back pain. So what we do to stretch the hamstring is we're sitting down, we straighten one leg. While that one leg is straight, knee is straight, lock, foot towards you. Again, you have a straight back, hinge at the hips, lean forward as far as you can while keeping your back straight, and you will hold this position for 15 seconds, and you will do this 3 times on each leg. Sometimes you'll feel this also in the back of your calf muscle, but that's okay. If to help with that, lean a little bit forward in the chair, so scoot up in the chair. Try it again, and it's okay if it's in the calf muscle as well. Stretching can also be incorporated with meditation and yoga so that you can kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone. So it becomes more than just sitting and having a boring stretch. You can make it a part of other things. You can also do it at work, you can do it when you're in the store, you can do it anywhere. Stretching is, you just need your body. There's no equipment that you need. You can use equipment. There's equipment for assisting with stretching, but you don't need any equipment to actually stretch. One final stretch that you can do in your chair, same thing, in a chair, at your desk, or at home, is a stretch for your thoracic spine. So the thoracic spine is your middle back, the middle of your back. So then you would sit down as normal, and you would cross one leg over the other. So my right leg is over my left leg. Then you would take that opposite arm, so my right leg is over the left leg. I would take my left arm, place it on the outer portion of my right leg. Now I would take my right arm in the back of the chair, and I will twist towards the right side. So I'm twisting towards the right side, the straight back, and I will hold this for 15 seconds, 3 times. Now for the other side, it will be left leg over the right leg. So since it's the left leg over the right leg, I'll use my right arm over the outside of the left leg. Do that, place my left hand on the chair, straight back, twist, hold it for 15 seconds, 3 times on each leg. Stretching reduces the risk of injury because it helps create more of a balance in our body. Whenever you have tight muscles, it creates an imbalance. So if your right hamstring is super tight, that means the muscles in your hamstring, they're shortened, they're tight together. And the muscles in your left hamstring, they're elongated, they're longer and they're more relaxed. You're going to be walking with a limp or a slight imbalance. So it's going to increase the chance of you getting injured on your right knee or your lower right back because you're putting a lot of strain on the surrounding muscles on your right side because of a tight right hamstring. So it's good to stretch both sides equally and to make sure that internally you're as balanced as can be, so that will reduce the risk of an injury in the future. Those are 3 stretches that you can do at your desk or at home that can help with muscle tightness and to help alleviate some back pain. Those are things that we can do every day to improve our flexibility. Within the next episode or 2, I'll give you some more stretches that you can do at home or at work for the upper body. Another important thing with stretching is to make sure you don't overstretch. You want to stretch so that you're feeling the pull and it's a nice comfortable pull to hold on to for 15 seconds to 30 seconds at a time. But you don't want to stretch so much that it's painful or that you really feel your muscle tearing. That would be counterproductive. So the key with stretching is to stretch enough but don't overstretch.